All right, so let's introduce selenium. So as I mentioned earlier, the QA engineers, they identify what are the tests that they're going to be working on. Some of them are going to be manual tests. Some of them are going to be automated, and a subset of those are going to be automated. They might decide that some of them will be integration tests. So we're going to be focusing on using a tool called Selenium. We've already introduced last week manual tests, through acceptance test criteria, right? Creating those criteria. So we're going to introduce some of the automation, being able to automate some of these tests ourselves using the Selenium project. So the Selenium project is a tool, is an open source tool that is very popular amongst QA engineers that allows them to automate those otherwise manual tests, right? That allows them to create scripts in their favorite language, right? And then interact with web browsers. In this particular case, it's web browsers, but there's many other tools that allow you to do non-web applications, maybe desktop applications or mobile applications and whatnot. Since the stack that we're using for this particular course is a web stack, we're going to be using Selenium project to automate this. So the Selenium project has two parts. One of the parts is what is called the web driver API. The web driver API is what the different browsers, they provide an API for us to be able to automate the interaction with the browser, to be able to actually simulate a click on a button or typing at an input field or manipulating the scroll bar or mouse movements and whatnot. Okay, so these drivers are provided by the different vendors, right? So Chrome provides one, Safari. Each browser provides their own API. Okay, so depending on what browser you're going to be interacting with, you'll need to download that particular driver. Okay, the other part is the Selenium per se, that is a server-like application that is capable of interacting with this API, generating these events, right? Using this API and actually sending over these commands of clicking here or typing at the input field or bringing up new screens and whatnot. So together they work together to facilitate this interaction. Right? You'll need to install certain tools, or assume that you have the following. That you have the following installed. You have the JDK, which we do, I assume, right? That you have an IDE. We're going to be looking at IntelliJ, but it works with every major IDE. But we'll look at IntelliJ since I believe most of you are using IntelliJ. You'll need a browser. We're going to be focusing on Chrome, but this would work just as well with any other browser. And then you'll need a driver that goes along with the particular browser that you choose, right? Since we chose Chrome, we'll make use of the Chrome driver. The Chrome driver, you'll need to download it. So if you navigate to the driver, it's here's Chrome driver Chromium, and you can download it and then install it. Not install it. It's just a file, right? So just install it. Just remember where you put it, since you'll need to refer to it from within your tests. Right? It'll load that driver, and then it will ask the driver, "Hey driver, create a new instance of Chrome." And it'll open up a browser, right? It'll navigate to whatever website you want, right? And then you can start interacting with it by sending it different messages and different events. Okay. The other thing that you'll need to download is Selenium per se, which is Selenium HQ. So you can copy that, and I'll put it here. You can download it and install it locally on your machine. Okay. All right. So you'll need to configure a couple things in your project so that you'll have you'll have in your POM file, you'll have several dependencies that will download and install certain libraries in your project. Right? Typically, in your POM file, you'll have declarations of the JDK version that you're using, the JUnit, right? Which you should already have JUnit installed in your local machine, so that's not a problem. The Selenium server, you'll need to download that as well. So that's from the Selenium's HQ, and the version it will be deployed locally as a jar file in your Maven repository. And you'll also have to download the Selenium Chrome as a jar file. Also will download into Maven repository. And then obviously you have to have Maven installed as well, which we do already. So you're okay there.